Chapter 20. Constantinople, April 337. The message is waiting for me when I return home. Come to dinner at the palace tonight. It isn't clear if it's an invitation or an order, but I'm not going to refuse. My slaves spend the afternoon digging out the toga from the store cupboard where it's languished and scrubbing it with chalk to obliterate the stains. It takes us an hour of folding, tucking, and cursing to remember how to make it sit right. My steward murmurs that I look splendid, just like the old days. He sounds wistful. The hall of 19 couches stands in the palace complex in the shadow of the hippodrome. A larger-than-life statue of Constantine with his 3 sons commands the entrance, staring down the length of the hall. In the apse at the opposite end, Constantine and his half-sister Constantiana lounge on the top couch like some incestuous pair of Egyptian gods. From there, the other 18 couches run down the sides of the hall like the 2 straight tracks of the hippodrome. This is where the race is decided. The closer you are to the imperial couple, the nearer you are to winning. Constantine never used to like giving dinner parties. He hated having to rank the world so baldly. The sentimentalist in him couldn't bear to see his guests' disappointment when they found themselves next to the door. The pragmatist knew the value of uncertainty. You move more carefully when you don't know where you stand. I take my allotted place, second from the end, left-hand side, sharing the couch with a gaunt chancery official who wolfs down his food as if he hasn't eaten in a week, a senator from Bithynia, and a grain merchant who can only speak in bushels. I listen to his prattle about a blight in Egypt and whether the Nile flood will fail this year as I scan the other guests. Eusebius is there, near the head of the room, deep in conversation with Flavius Ursus. I wonder what a bishop and a soldier have in common to talk about. The price is already up 5 denarii from last month. The merchant tears into a skewered dormouse. Fat veined with blood dribbles down his chin. It's curious, you see. Usually, in the spring, the price drops as the seas open and the grain ships start to arrive again. He chuckles, as if it's a riddle worthy of Daedalus. Augurs and conjurers read the future in dead entrails and the flight of birds. I can read it in the price of wheat. I humour him. It's the least painful option. What do you see? Isn't it obvious? He looks at me as if I'm a child. Trouble. At last the meal's over. Slaves clear the platters away. Guests stand and begin to mingle. The grain merchant makes his excuses and escapes to the other side of the room, as bored of me as I am of him. I push forward to the front of the room, trying to catch Constantine's eye, but the press of bodies is too thick. Instead, I stumble into a circle of men deep in a conversation. They fall silent when I intrude. Gaius Valerius Maximus. It's Eusebius in a gold-trimmed toga hardly less grand than Constantine's. Again, there's an edge of ridicule in the emphasis as he says my last name. Have you found the truth yet? I'm waiting for someone to enlighten me. One of our brothers in Christ was beaten to death with a statue of the philosopher Hierocles, Eusebius explains for the benefit of the others. A notorious persecutor was sitting just behind him. The Emperor has ordered Gaius Valerius Maximus to find the killer. The knot of men around him nod seriously. They're strange company for a bishop to keep. The prefect of Constantinople, the prefect of provisions, who oversees the bread ration, 2 generals whose faces are more familiar than their names, and Flavius Ursus, marshal of the army. Nothing in his face acknowledges the conversation we had yesterday. Eusebius glides away to talk with a pair of senators who've accosted him. He seems to know everyone here. I spend a few more minutes with Ursus and the generals, discussing arrangements for the Persian campaign, its prospects, whether they can reach Ctesiphon by autumn. Just like the old days.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?